9 to noon.
Time for two more.
That's a great setup, Bob.
Personal foul. Clipping. The game is over.
Y'all don't know football.
What's that fool doing?
Thinking of those days gone by now.
Thank you.
Some music in the air.
Hold on to your butt.
Life was good then it had meaning. We danced without a care.
Okay, calm down.
There I met you.
What in the ham fat is going on with you guys?
As friends.
Big boy's back.
I've seen before. We had come together in a special place.
Yeah.
To feel the joy. Cafe.
Football Feast.
Music that they used to play.
He's got big balls.
Cafe.
Oh, well.
Music that they used to play.
Let's go, everybody. Let's go. Good morning. Shall we begin?
Yeah. I get it. I understand. But
It's for good reason, PA.
well, I think so. And 9 to noon never talks like this. However, so I'm a couple of seconds late here. Nordo doing great work as usual. And I'm a couple of seconds late because I just got done recording a 20-some-odd minute interview with new Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor inductee Adrian Peterson. And I've had a lot of conversations with Adrian Peterson over the years that I just highly encourage Minnesota Vikings fans or those who just like to hear open vein radio. Because Adrian Peterson, with this Ring of Honor induction, he was so touched by what transpired by joining the Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor. You can watch a fantastic video put together by the terrific Vikings Entertainment Network at Vikings.com. You can see the surprise. In fact, many of you probably have seen it. But you can see the surprise, and then you can see the genuine gratitude Adrian experienced and felt by somebody recognizing great moments in his life. And as he said during this interview, he really, really battled to hold back tears. That was cool. You're going to like that. That was open vein radio. How about, and I'm not going to step on all these touchdown calls, but there were just some things, man, that like when I ran down the hall to get my stuff and I ran back, I was just thinking about like 2 or 3 things, including, when we're talking about his career here.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of 2016, we had a game against the Indianapolis Colts. It was just flat a weird week up to that game, and Adrian had a lot to do with it. Now, I don't know, what the reporting was on that at that time, or like if he was on the injury report or whatever, but it was just a weird week. And then it was a weird game. And then it was a weird departure.
And basically fumbled in that game, and that was kind of it for Adrian, wasn't it?
That was it here?
Yeah.
For the greatest running back in the history of this team. So I'm like, how did it end here? And then he explained that it was difficult knowing he was leaving. But then he came back and said, but most of the problems were created by me. I mean, when I say open vein radio with how it ended here for Adrian, I mean, he didn't, spill every single bean to be spilt, but he's like, I could have done things a lot better at the end of my run here with the Minnesota Vikings.
I think by the standards of what you get from the highest of high end, the MVP types, I thought it was a pretty humbling and thoughtful conversation by Adrian. And at times,
what about the catching part? Are you kidding me?
On the positive side of it, though,
wow.
For most of it, you could hear the smile in his voice.
Yes.
And, we've done interviews with Adrian many, many times during those first few years that I was at the Fan and the last few years of Adrian's time. I'll just be honest with you. I was surprised that you got the interview you got today. And it was awesome.
Well, down memory lane we go.
Welcome back to the show.
Say it again.
Headband and all.
Down memory lane we go.
Welcome back to the show.
There, the actual pinnacle of happiness with this Adrian Peterson interview that you're going to hear at 11 o'clock. I didn't even put the set list on Twitter. I'm so far behind. I'll do that in a minute. But the grand accomplishment here is that when we recorded it, it actually stayed recorded, which means we can play it back 9 to noon, which also takes us back 10, 11 years ago, whatever it was, to Nordo taking over the production wherewithal of 9 to noon and joining me at Winter Park for an interview with Adrian Peterson.
Off season, I think it's into the 2014. It's in the spring, so it's been about 12 years. Yes.
Yeah, about 12 years. And so we have a nice 12, 15-minute conversation with the former National Football League MVP. What happened after that?
I didn't record any of it.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't press record.
How'd you feel after that? Like, how long before you knew we had this Adrian Peterson chat and it's not recorded?
Yeah, I knew.
Yes.
So we're at Winter Park. There's that tunnel going out to the practice field, and
The
we had been standing there, and I'm just thinking, is it is it McKinnon's rookie year? I forget. It doesn't matter. And he walks into the tunnel. He's got helmet. He's got pads on. The whole thing. You said, all right, you didn't call me Con. I think you just called me Nords at the time.
Yeah, what's up, Nords?
It was pre-juice box. It was pre-stink, all of those things.
Yep, squish.
And you walked over. I think you were talking with Kim Clawwater about his choke wire that he can pull out of his watch as head of security at the time. And I was walking out to my vehicle in the parking lot, and I took a peek at it, and it was gone. There was no file saved.
No!
So I had to drive back to work. I drove back home. I tried to figure out how I was going to present this information to you. I thought it was over for me.
Oh, jeez.
You can't record 14 minutes with the MVP and just delete it and come back to work the next day. I thought that was the end of my job.
Well, please tell me I handled it with poise. Please tell me I handled it with class and aplomb and didn't act like a petulant child.
You did not. There was something about we got to play faster, and you're not playing very fast right now.
We play faster than that around here. Okay, this ain't AM.
Yeah,
this ain't podcasting.
Everybody's made a mistake, but mistakes sound better in AM down the hall. Go back to News Talk. No, you didn't say any of that. We moved on.
I'm making an executive decision here, if you don't mind.
Sure.
TimberTech.com, what's on deck 9 to noon, includes schedule conversation momentarily, potential talkbacks, and some more schedule-related stuff in the second segment. We have Dick Jerardi, formerly with the Philadelphia Daily News, to tout us on the Preakness at 9:45. Alec Lewis, athletic.com, in studio 10 o'clock. That's a Friday Football Feast regular. Here's the change. Let's cut this Adrian Peterson interview and make it 2.
Okay.
So at 10:47, you'll hear the first 10-ish, 12-ish minutes with new Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor inductee Adrian Peterson. And then you'll hear the second part at 11 o'clock. And again, it's beauty is in the ear of the beholder. So it's always difficult for me. It's like when people ask, how'd the show go today? I mean, I have my feelings, but beauty's in the ear of the beholder.
I can only judge it based on whether I had fun or not. That's usually how I think about it. But I'm not it's not my ears who are beholding the beauty or non-beauty of what we're going to offer today.
So it's difficult for me to answer that because I can't answer for the people listening. However, this Adrian Peterson interview we just got done with, I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you love all 22 of the minutes. His giggle, his contrition, the answer he gave when I framed up a question. All right. Well, when we were talking about Brett Favre, you just talking about catching the ball and how important it was in practice with Brett because everything was full speed. Then I'm like, all right, well, listen to this closely. How would you respond to this, Adrian, if somebody's like, describe Adrian Peterson, all right, and somebody says, well, I mean, definitely a Hall of Famer, one of the great running backs in the history of the NFL and the greatest in the history of the Minnesota Vikings, wasn't real comfortable catching the ball, was a little mechanical with it. And I was like, Adrian, how would you respond to that? I'm telling you right now, his response is something you have no idea is coming at you. I mean, it was just out of left field, and I'd never heard it before. So Adrian Peterson, 10:45 and 11 o'clock. Then Dane Moore from the Dane Moore podcast and at Dane Moore NBA. On hopefully what tonight is not a funeral for another sports friend. T-Wolves in San Antonio, about 8:40 here, FM 100.3, KFAN. Alan Horton and Jim Pete on the call. And the Spurs lead that series 3-2. The Fan has learned the Minnesota Vikings schedule was released yesterday. From Green Bay through Chicago, we have commentary on most, if not all, of the games. For instance, we're going to do it like this. The last time the Green Bay Packers were at U.S. Bank Stadium, this happened.
25 seconds to go in the first half. Second and goal from the one. Straight eye behind J.J. C.J. Ham in front of Ty Chandler. Ben Sims in motion to the left. Hand off C.J. Ham. Plows up the middle to the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. Well done, C.J. Ham. And the Minnesota Vikings have taken a 12-0 lead.
How excited are the Green Bay Packers? They don't have to face C.J. Ham because he did that to them the last time they were at U.S. Bank Stadium. How excited are the Minnesota Vikings? Maybe in low-key fashion because teams don't make stuff like this public. But like I shared yesterday with Nordo and Nacho Libre, is when the schedule falls, the more games you can get against the Green Bay Packers when Micah Parsons is not playing, the better. I was hoping for two of them, but we got one of them, Green Bay, 3:25, opening week, September 13th. That's a Sunday at U.S. Bank Stadium. Then you head to the road. And the last time we were at Soldier Field, this happened.
We have a Tim Jones sighting. Wide receiver left, three receivers right. 3rd and 5 from the Bears, 13. Chicago rushes 4. McCarthy, straight drop to the end zone, and touchdown! Big boy! Justin Jefferson catches J.J. McCarthy's first National Football League touchdown, and it's 17-12.
Nordo produces, and I'm Paul Allen. We're going to go through the Viking schedule. Also, talkbacks next segment, if you are so inclined. Free iHeart radio app. You know how that whole bad boy works. And some of the ideas for the talkbacks could include, but certainly are not limited to, the Wolves playing the San Antonio Spurs tonight. I mean, with the Timberwolves tonight, what are the routes to triumph via the talkbacks? Free iHeartRadio talkback via the app. So Timberwolves, Finchy, and the Howl, always first and foremost in our minds and in our hearts. Hopefully it's not a season closer tonight on KFAN, but talkbacks on the Timberwolves. And, of course, the Viking schedule. Have you manned your telescopes? Did you find that first loss? If you could road trip to any game, where would it be and why? If you could take a road trip to any Vikings road game this year, where would it be and why? And, of course, patentedly premature record predictions, of course, invited into the talkback machine. That's all courtesy of TimberTech and TimberTech.com. We got some money to give away, too. Then more schedule analysis and talkbacks and highlights and things like that. But first.
Yeah, the Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a chance to put $1,000 in your hand with the National Cash Contest. This hour's keyword is rich. The keyword is rich. Now, you're not going to get rich off of this, but how about winning some money, right? Use the keyword rich and enter it in at KFAN.com.
This is PA on iHeartRadio and KFAN The Fan. Guaranteed human.
Dean's Home Service.
Hey guys, this is Max Megan. This is my quick fire reaction to the schedule. Packers, L. Bears, L. Buccaneers, W. Dolphins, W. Saints, W. Colts, W. Lions, L. Bills, L. Packers, W. 49ers, L. Falcons, W. Panthers, W. Patriots, L. Lions, W. Commanders, W. Jets, W. Bears, L. There you go.
Whoa, what's that add up to?
I think, let me see here.
That's a patentedly premature record prediction, always welcome via the talkback machine. What's that add up to?
All right, let me do.
Let me
do
finish
a little
the set list FPA on the mizzle.
Absolutely. So
Vikings schedule chat with talkbacks. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to do some Mankato math here. Bucks W, Dolphins W, Saints W, Colts W, Packers W, Falcons W, Panthers W, Lions W, Commanders W, Jets W.
No, I'm with it.
Vikes 10-7.
10-7?
Yes, the Vikes at 10-7, I suppose.
Timber Tech's taking an L in my Twitter feed. So I can't fit Ring of Honor in.
Headband, though.
I mean, I don't know what we're talking about. No headband. I'm not wearing a headband. Why are you obsessed when I wear headbands or head coverings?
Again, you look like you just finished playing racquetball.
Maybe I did.
At the Y when you wear that sometimes.
Maybe I was playing handball.
Talkback machine.
I'll see you to stop.
For a Vikings record prediction, I'm going to say I don't see a loss on that schedule.
Same.
Love you.
But for the sake of a prediction, I'll say 12-5, competing for the division. It might come down to week 18 against the Bears. Skol Vikes, God bless.
God bless you, too.
Talkback machine. Oh, we got Charles.
What up, PA? What up, Nordo?
There we go. I got Ring of Honor and Dumpty in.
Charles, Capital City.
Capital City.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. Wonder if you could answer it. With the scheduling release, can you please tell me how do I get my ticket to the Mexico City game? Skol Nation. I'm in that game 100%. But let's go, Target Center. How? Let's go. Can we get that game 6 and bring it down to San Antonio? Come on, man. Let's get rid of Wendy's. It doesn't matter. Wolves in 7.
Charles, you're the bomb, man. I mean, new to my ears with the talkback machine. Probably been about 5 to 10 in there, but I just like how you operate, man.
Well, by the way, Charles gets it. He handles 2, potentially even 3 topics, and he knows where the 30-second hits. It's flawless.
Yeah.
Cheers to Charles.
Yeah, welcome. And Charles from St. Paul, he and I have come a long way because with his first talkback, he said this.
PA? Well, it probably goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't like you.
Like, damn, Charles.
Hey.
L.
Relationship growth, man.
Yeah, I know. So, talkbacks, but schedule release.
Oh,
now, I don't see them, and I honestly don't see them losing Game 1 to the Green Bay Packers without Micah Parsons, Brian Flores. I mean, honestly, when did he start mixing concoctions for Jordan Love? Week number 1. With a home game. So I feel good about that one. After that, man, I got some thoughts that we'll share during the course of the radio show about patches of the schedule that if you're going to be a really good team, I think you definitely got to take care of. They're like the New York Jets. I said this last night on that social media.com bit that Bursich, Lieber, and I did. The Jets are the penultimate.
Yeah.
Jets, I think the Jets are messing things up, man. Because it's a really, 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 really good quarterback draft next year, everybody tells us, and they need one. So how about that last draft Gang Green had, though? David Bailey, stud edge, Kenyon Sadiq, stud tight end, Omar Cooper Jr., right at the end of the first round. They liked him so much they went back in the first round to get him. A national championship winning wide receiver from Indiana, and a lot of people like the Hoosier. Thing is, they drafted so well, they may win more than they thought and not become requisite of getting in a spot to get the right quarterback next year.
Yeah, maybe.
The Jets may be messing this whole thing up.
I just think they draft so high all the time. They've walked away. It's kind of, the way that we grade things, whether it's post-draft, we had big opinions on paper after last year's free agency, etc. The Jets have walked away from the draft going, we feel really good about this.
This is 3 of them, though.
This is the year that we turn around and make something happen. This is the foundation upon which we can build from and stabilize this franchise. And they'll bleep around and find their way to 7 or 8 wins, which if they do that this year, you're right. I mean, that puts them in a spot where they're potentially missing out on a deep quarterback class. But
they can
still
beat
the freaking Jets, man.
They can beat Miami twice. So I mean,
well, that's true.
And Miami just gave Malik all that money, so I don't know if they're necessarily going to be in the quarterback market. But I was thinking about the Jets in that draft next year, and I'm like, damn, you might have drafted too well to win the requisite games to get one of those quarterbacks. That's near the end of the season. Week number 3, the last time the Minnesota Vikings traveled to the Big Sombrero, this happened.
Well, we're 4 of 4 on fourth down, Peter, and it's 4th and 13 from the Buccaneers 48. Empty backfield, 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Cousins back to pass. The ball is hit, and it's a strip sack. It's picked off by Jason Pierre-Paul, and that is your ball game, boys and girls.
Do you remember that 2020? I think Bailey missed 3 or 4 field goals that game.
Oh, yeah, because Bursich, Lieber, and I called the game from U.S. Bank Stadium. That was during COVID times, where at Raymond James, they were one of the first teams to open the stadium to 5,000 to 10,000 fans.
I think Lavelle, he was at that game, I think.
Correct, covering it. No, sitting in the stands.
I think he was just a rube in the stands, yeah.
Yep, so Scotty Miller caught a very, very big pass in that game. But
they've gotten us twice in a row, by the way. 2023, the opener. Yeah, Baker is feisty. They got Ibuka, they got Godwin, they got Bucky, they got the defensive front. It's going to be a fun game.
O'Connell's 0-1 against the Bucks, lost in 2023. Baker went for 173-2 in that game. And it's with the first game of the year. I mean, I honestly would be surprised, unless things change injury-wise or whatever with training camp, if they lose that home game to the Green Bay Packers.
You can't talk that way and be taken seriously.
You get them at a perfect time at home to start things. Nobody's seen any of Flores' new stuff. Gink will be healthy, and no Micah Parsons. So that fell kind of nicely. Week number 4, Sunday, October 4th. 3:05 in the afternoon at U.S. Bank Stadium. Last time we were at U.S. Bank Stadium and played the team wearing teal, this happened.
1st and 15 from the Dolphins, 21. Cousins from under center, hands it to Dalvin. He spins away from a Dolphin at the 15. And he's loose! Inside the 5. Touchdown! 2 rushing touchdowns today from the Miami native, Dalvin Cook. And it's 40-17 Minnesota.
Zimmer wanted Stefanski to run, didn't he?
2018, right?
2018.
Yeah, for this year, the Gink is on fire! Andrew Van Ginkel against his former team. Malik Willis, welcome to U.S. Bank Stadium. You got no Waddle. Got no Jalen Waddle.
No Tyreek, nothing.
No Tyreek, too. That's right, cheetah guy. So first 4, you got 2 at home, 2 on the road. Then right before the bye, you head down to New Orleans. Last time we were there, ho, ho, ho.
Alvin Kamara's in the game. He has 5 rushing touchdowns. Breeze to Kamara. Alvin hit at the point of attack, lunges for the end zone, touchdown, Alvin Kamara. He just hit the pick 6 on Christmas Day.
Merry Christmas, Vikings fans. Merry Christmas to those who are friends with the opposing head coach. Just likes the friendship so much. Scored 6 touchdowns on national television with Alvin Kamara on Christmas Day. Kevin O'Connell is 2-0 versus the New Orleans Saints. And one of those was on the road, but it was really on the road because it was at Tottenham Hotspur. It was the double doink bit. New Orleans has added running back Travis Etienne. Former Vikings punter Ryan Wright is in the covenant with the New Orleans Saints. Ryan Wright, who used to punt with us.
He ain't heavy. He's a punter.
And at 8 in the draft, they went with oft-injured wide receiver from Arizona State, Jordan Tyson. But when he's not injured, he's making everybody pay. So that is Sunday, October 11th at the New Orleans Saints. Vikings get the bye after that, a little early, but not bad. Then when they come out of that bye, the last time the team with the horseshoes on the helmets was at U.S. Bank Stadium, it was quite memorable.
3 receivers left, 1 out to the right. Taylor to the right of Flacco. Vikings rush 4. Flacco throwing left. Intercepted Byron Murphy Jr. And Flacco threw it right to him. That's an interception for the Minnesota Vikings, leading 14-7. And BOGO ball has been activated.
That was 2024, and going back to 2022, of course. Yes.
Caribou got a free pop there. Caribou got a free pop. Keep the announcer in mind when you see me next.
BOGO ball. And can the price not change from the time one takes an order?
It wasn't Caribou.
Oh, it was not? Okay.
No.
Just verifying.
Thank you.
No, we love Caribou. This happened just 2 years prior to that.
1st and 10 from his own 36-yard line. Back to pass. Green left to Dalvin. Turns it up outside the numbers for the 40. Gets to the 50. And he's loose. Dalvin 20 to the left. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Dalvin Cook. Yes, yes. A 64-yard touchdown. And he had to drag a Colt into the end zone. 36, 34, Indy. 2:15 to go.
And shortly after that, it was T.J. Hawkinson for the 2. And
what?
What we got here?
I mean, Trey Blake can't even work a mic.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He worked that game. Then he got demoted.
Seriously, I mean, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, we had some problems with referee Trey Blake. One of them was former Viking and former Colt Stephon Gilmore trying to decapitate Justin Jefferson right in front of the Vikings bench. And yours truly got a little frustrated with Trey Blake during the course of that game. But you know what? The serendipity out of it, the positive that transpires from what some would perceive as, I don't know, maybe a petulant approach to radio broadcasting is, I don't know who did what where, but somehow that sucker got on TikTok. Okay, and like this montage thing.
The Trey Blake thing?
No, that part of it, but like something I said about a punter and something Bursich said about Jalen Reagor short arming or short running a route.
Oh,
so
on the pick 6.
Whether it's the draft party or wherever, when I run into those who are ages 20 to 28, all of them will bring that up. What do you think of the Colts punter? Oh, you've seen, okay. Where'd you see that? TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
So I'm not.
Hey, Stephon Gilmore joins the Vikings.
Snap, another 4-man rush, throws left to Jefferson, who's blasted by Stephon Gilmore, who should be thrown out of the game.
There we go. There we go. He should be thrown out of the game. Play the whole thing.
Empty snap, another 4-man rush, throws left to Jefferson, who's blasted by Stephon Gilmore, who should be thrown out of the game. Stephon Gilmore should be thrown out of the game for that hit. And he's lucky that somebody doesn't come off the sideline and whoop his butt.
When you're 60 years of age and you've done X amount of jobs for X amount of years, something funny over there?
Just loving that audio.
Which would be coming up on 30 years with 3 of them. Anytime you get those from 20 to 30 to say, hey, man, what do you think of the Colts punter? What do you think of Trey Blake? What do you think of Stephon Gilmore? What do you think of Dalvin dragging Colts into the end zone? Well, what do you mean? Well, yeah, we watch that on TikTok all the time. Hey, lines are long, gigs are hard to find. Definitely second half of a career. Whenever the youngsters find something they like that, that is the serendipity from everything you just heard.
So good.
With Gilmore, Blake, and the whole thing. So thank you, kids. After Indianapolis, the last time the Minnesota Vikings were at Ford Field, this happened.
3rd and 6 from the Vikings 12. Snap.
Set him up.
Goff. Hit Zach! Down goes Jared Goff. Eric Wilson, welcome home, my man. The Redford, Michigan native has 2 sacks and just buried number 16.
We punished him that day.
Swept him in 24, didn't we? After having some trouble beating them for quite some time. Nordo presciently nailed this last year. I was hard-headed to come around to the situation because of all the talent the Detroit Lions have. But they missed the playoffs. And I think they're going to miss the playoffs again until they show all of us what they look like consistently with new coordinators. Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn left, and that sucker just fell off a little too far for my liking. I think we can agree that game at Ford Field, to this point through 10 starts, J.J. McCarthy's signature game, signature moments.
Yeah, I mean, the signature moment is probably the Bears opener where he runs in. That'd be the signature play. But in terms of the totality of a game, that was the most complete effort we saw from him. And maybe the best balance of the 2025 Vikings team, where I played that sack highlight because we got to him 5 times. Jahmyr Gibbs, love him. He's electric and amazing. Wish he was on our team or any team that we love. He can't pass protect to save his life.
Yeah, B-Flow put him in a bad spot.
And now this is a situation. It'll be interesting. How does Isaiah Pacheco try to really fill that Montgomery role? And what this thing looks like? Can Branch and Kirby Joseph stay healthy? I mean, the Lions are in, I think, a prove-it stage in terms of returning to what that little flash in the pan was 2 years ago.
Yeah, you snipped that bad boy out nicely last year. The season total was 10.5, I think.
Yeah, we went under on that.
Well, no, I didn't, we're not betting the overs and unders. We're predicting, but no, I mean, you were loud about that thing, man, and I can't, what'd they finish with, 8, 9, something like that?
Yeah, I think they were either 9-8 or 8-9.
Mm-hmm. Last year may have been, with that prediction, I'm hoping last year wasn't the wedding, and this year's the funeral, but until they figure out what to do without Ben, and it's kind of an older squad, too, all of a sudden. So the Detroit Lions, Week 8, November 1st, at Ford Field at noon. After that, you come home, and you have a Monday night football game against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills with their new coach, Joe Brady. Last time we played the Buffalo Bills, one of the most memorable regular season games in Minnesota Vikings history.
So cool.
Maybe in NFL history. They beat the Bills in overtime. But what about the last time the Bills were at the palatial purple paradise?
Uh-oh.
Allen out of the shotgun, facing a blitz. Josh steps up, plenty of room to run. Leaps over a Viking to the 45, gets a first down. Excellent acrobatic effort by the rookie from Wyoming. He leapt over Anthony Barr. Could have been an 8-yard gain, not enough. He made it 11. He gets Buffalo a first down.
Bills.
That was kind of his coming out game.
16.5-point underdogs.
Yeah.
U.S. Bank Stadium left with the money.
Yeah, 27-6, in fact.
It was that bad?
I think it was a late Rudy touchdown just to get us off the goose egg.
One of in the what will be 25 years of calling Minnesota Vikings football, that is one of the most improbable, let down, underachieving losses.
Yeah.
Either the announcer, the producer, or the fan has experienced in a home game for the Vikings.
It was shocking.
But lo and behold, look what Josh Allen has become. Mm-hmm. And they I don't know if he was a rookie. I think he might have been a rookie from Boston College, Matt Milano. Never had heard of linebacker Matt Milano. And I'm pretty sure
he had a pick in that game.
A rookie or a first-year guy from Boston College.
I'm on it.
And I had no idea who he was. And, this thing was like Tasmanian devil on wheels. He was making every single play there was to be made. I'm like, who knew?
I thought he had
are you kidding me?
Just some super weird athletic interception in that game where he was falling to the ground. Yeah, that was him. He had a sack and a pick that game.
Oh!
And he may have been... He was a rookie 2017, but played sparingly. So this was the first time he was starting.
There we go.
In mass.
Was it BC? I know it's an Eastern school.
It was BC.
It was BC.
It was Flores U.
It was Flores U. There we go. So that's the Bills, middle of the schedule. Buys already happened. Then the Green Bay Packers are going to be awfully frustrated after losing to Kevin O'Connell and the Minnesota Vikings week number 1. They're going to remember it. In fact, a couple of months later, Kevin O'Connell, when he became head coach of the Vikings, 2022, his very first game was at home against Green Bay, and he beat them.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to do that again this year. Then we go to Lambeau. Last time we were at Lambeau, okay.
J.J. McCarthy, 9 of 14, 71 yards. Been sacked 5 times, goes play action. Rashawn Gary from around the corner. forces McCarthy to throw it over the middle, and it's intercepted by Isaiah McDuffie. Rashawn Gary ran around Justin's fool, and I think he might have hit J.J. McCarthy's arm.
Yeah, he definitely hit his arm as McCarthy was letting that football.
We might not have crossed the 50 till the third quarter. Ryan Vandemark and my man from Northwestern, the offensive lineman.
Caleb Tiernan.
Yes, they're here. And that'll be the game at Lambeau Field, week number 10. All right, so we have weeks 11 through 18 still to get to. I can tell right now we're going to do that with Alec Lewis when he gets in studio, representing The Athletic and theathletic.com. I read Alec's story on a schedule analysis. And it's basically, thematically speaking, at Alec_Lewis, basically laid it out like tough division, but some damage can be done by the Minnesota Vikings with this schedule, and we're going to unpack that with Alec 20 minutes from now. Do you like money? Anybody like money?
Yes.
Well, at 6 o'clock Central tomorrow is the 2026 Preakness. And if you swung and missed on Golden Tempo in the Kentucky Derby, well, there's an opportunity to recoup that cash. Whether it's exactas, trifectas, superfectas, tail ends of daily doubles, or just making a sweet win bet, watch and wager, be a part of history on the 2026 Preakness at Canterbury Park. Learn more at canterburypark.com. In fact, the track's open right now. I'm pretty sure you can advance wager on what is a terrific betting race. Dick Jerardi is an elite triple-crowned mine for nearly 3.5 decades. He wrote about horse racing and much more for the Philly Daily News. And Mr. Jerardi joins us next.
This is 9 to noon, live on iHeartRadio.
Now, you like money? People like money. You want to win some money? Well, you can thank us later for this. Triple Crown savant Dick Jerardi. Thanks to betonline.ag. Old school, best school with Dick in his days with the Philly Daily News, 3 decades and change. Final furlong friends. Dick, Andy Beyer, and others developed the Beyer Speed Figures, which have become quite key to daily racing form handicapping. The Preakness is tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Watch and wager. Be a part of history at Canterbury Park, canterburypark.com. And Dick Jerardi joins us now. How you been, my friend?
I'm great, Paul. How about you, buddy?
Right on, man. I'm curious to see what you're going to do with this Preakness, which is looks to be a phenomenal betting race. But I want to lay this out for you like this, as kind of like state of the game, Dick Jerardi. So just listen to this. The Derby winner Golden Tempo is skipping a Preakness that is at Laurel, not Pimlico, and prepping for a Belmont Stakes that is 1.25 miles, not at Belmont, but at Saratoga. I mean, this whole thing is goofy, isn't it?
That kind of sums up the state of the game right there, doesn't it, Paul? Yeah, it's a very weird year. The good news is next year we'll definitely be at the new Belmont Park, and they'll be back at 1.5 miles for the Belmont Stakes. And I feel pretty confident they'll be back at Pimlico. The structure may not be finished, but I think they've already planned on that. So, yeah, this hopefully is a one-year aberration. And also, hopefully, they finally, and I knew you and I have talked about it, change the date structure for the Triple Crown. We go 4 weeks and 4 weeks, so we don't have a Golden Tempo issue again next year. Right. And we can get the Derby winner running in the Preakness.
All right, so that would be, Derby first Saturday in May. That never can change. That's immortality. Nope.
That's it.
Derby first Saturday in May. Preakness. How about this? Preakness first Sunday in June, and then the Belmont on the 4th of July. Do you like that?
I like that a lot. There's some facsimile thereof. As long as we can go 4 weeks and 4 weeks. I mean, look, you do this for a living. You call the races at Canterbury. You know the game. All of us who know the game know that the top class horses never run back in 2 weeks, except during the Triple Crown. And it's the rare horse that can come out the other side doing this in 2026. So Cherie DeVoe, the trainer of Golden Tempo, Paul basically did what almost all the trainers are doing these days. Said, look, I don't run horses back in 2 weeks. My horse isn't ready for it. So let's just change the schedule to reflect the modern game. We do that all the time in other sports, right? We got a 3-point shot. We got a DH. We can do this. We can do this in horse racing. It's okay.
Okay, so unpack that a little bit, because you've seen and written about several Triple Crown winners, many. How come for, I don't know, Secretariat or Affirmed or American Pharaoh or whomever, why does it seem the 2 weeks between the Derby and the Preakness no longer is feasible, where over the course of time it was feasible for some of the greats?
Yeah, Paul, I actually think it is feasible, but it doesn't matter what I think. It really matters what the traders and the owners of these horses think. I mean, just think back to last year, right? Journalism, second of the Derby, won the Preakness, second of the Belmont. He ran great in all three. So it's certainly doable, but the vast majority of trainers at the top of the sport, the Todd Pletchers, Chad Browns, Bill Motts, they don't want to do it with their horses these days. And since these are the guys that are going to win the Derby on a regular basis, you say, well, you don't really want to cater to them, but yeah, maybe you do, because I think it's going to happen more often than not. This is the third time in 5 years we haven't had the Derby winner at the Preakness.
Yep.
So I think it reflects the way the game is played now. The game has just changed. So I think we should change the Triple Crown Series along with the way the sport has changed.
Dick Jerardi on the Preakness, 6 o'clock Central tomorrow. Watch and wager, be part of it at Canterbury Park, CanterburyPark.com. If you can't make it out for the second jewel of the Triple Crown, you can advance wager on that thing today at Canterbury Park. Dick's inclusion is provided by betonline.ag, betonline.ag. And the Preakness, I think, is a terrific betting race. When you wager on bigger fields, Dick, how do you generally play? Like, what do you enjoy playing?
So I'll go back to 2 weeks ago, Paul, when I was on with you. I really like the non-Bourbon, the Japanese horse.
Yep.
And at 12-1, I'm just going to play him to win, which is what I did. And frankly, I thought I was a cinch at the top of the stretch. You've watched enough races.
So did
he
I.
came in the stretch. He looked like he's going to win by 5. And it turned out, unfortunately, he came out of the race with a knee injury, which he's had surgery since then. That's probably what happened. But, we all been around and weird things happen in horse racing. So yeah, when you got a price like that, but if you're more like, say, a favorite, then I'm looking, like last year with Journalism, who I picked, didn't end up winning. Sovereignty won. Then I'm starting to look at exactas and trifectas, and maybe even in the Derby's case, a superfecta. This race, I find the Preakness even harder for me than the Derby, because I think the Derby had more form, right? We had horses that had won a lot of the major prep races. They had the Byron figures that you understood what they meant, where this race really doesn't have that. So it's much more confusing to me.
Okay, so let's take a peek at this. Oh, by the way, last time we chatted, we mentioned Ed Stefanski, Philly's finest, Atlanta Falcons coach Kevin Stefanski's dad. And Ed and I know each other quite well. He and I know you know him too. He ran 2 on Oaks Day at Churchill, and he won with one of them, Carmel Coast and Tyler Gaffleone riding. Tell me you tagged it.
Yeah, I was all over it. I love Eddie. He's one of the great guys ever. I've known him for 40 years, ever since I got to Philly, Paul, in 1985. He was great friends with Bob Levy, who was a legend in this town. So always great to see Ed, and I'll be rooting for Kevin, obviously, in Atlanta.
I've never been to a Triple Crown race. What's it like covering them?
Awesome. I covered the Derby 31 straight years for the Philadelphia Daily News, and everyone was awesome. And I covered literally every Triple Crown race that whole time. So you're talking, I've probably been to 100 of them.
Gee.
I've been to the Preakness more than any others because I grew up in Baltimore, so I went there even as a fan when I was a kid. So yeah, it's a scene. Now this is obviously going to be different this year, as you mentioned. If the Preakness is going to be at Laurel Park, which is Maryland's other racetrack, it's about 25 miles south of Pimlico. For geography, maybe 10 miles north of Washington, D.C. And what's different about this, their track is 1.1 miles in circumference, Paul, rather than the normal mile that the vast majority of American tracks are. So they're going to start this race at the 16th hole to be able to go a mile and 3/16. So the run to the first turn will be a lot shorter than the run at the Preakness or at the Derby.
I'm looking at some of these morning line odds. Not that the morning line matters, but it's a good starting point. Number 5, Talkin' with Irad Ortiz Jr. This one's 20-1 on the morning line. Dick, do you think Talkin' will have a say in this race?
I always love that one.
I like that too. That's very impressive.
Yeah, that's courtesy.
I got a good friend.
That's courtesy of Johnny the Mouse Mickelson. But continue.
Well done, Johnny. So Dave Granning, who's the lead correspondent for DRF, picked Talkin'. He's got a great opinion, so I would look at it that way to get Irad, which is obviously a huge pickup. The horse I like, and like is in quotes, I don't have nearly the confidence I had in the Derby, is Iron Honor with Pratt and Chad Brown, just because the combination is so good. My kind of long shot in here, Paul, is The Hell We Did, the 7. I've liked this. Each race I've liked. I didn't love the last one, but I think maybe that was to get ready for this one. And I love the trainer. He's from the southwest of New Mexico, Todd Fincher. He's kind of under the radar. Remember a horse a couple of years ago called Senor Buscador?
Yeah.
He won the Saudi Cup, $20 million. This guy doesn't play at the top of the game very often, Todd Fincher, but when he does, he's usually a factor. So 9 and 7, but again, not with anything like the confidence I had.
Yeah.
The most confidence I have tomorrow. All the great prop bets at Bet Online. I love the over on 1 minute 55 seconds. I think it's going to be substantially over. I don't think these horses are that fast. The racing surface is not nearly as fast as the surface was at Churchill Downs 2 weeks ago. So over 155. When you hear Larry Coleman's call out the time after the call on NBC, he's going to be calling something more than 1 minute 55 seconds. Bet on that.
BetOnline.ag. I know you got to go in a minute, so you get it all. Analyze the one that I like. I'm on Chip Honcho. Beat Golden Tempo a couple of starts ago. Has jockey Jose Ortiz, who's red hot right now. Probably will be around 5, 6, 7-1. Chip Honcho, what do you think?
A great trainer. Obviously, Steve Asmussen's won more races than anybody. He's won the Preakness twice with 2 legends, Hall of Famers, Curlin and Rachel Alexander. Obviously, Chip Honcho is at that, Paul, but if he can run back to the Risen Star, where he finished just behind Paladin, who might have been the favorite in the Derby and well ahead of Golden Tempo, that race is going to be good enough to win. And that, as you know, that's all you look for. Can a horse run a race good enough? And Chip Honcho absolutely can, if he's on his best tomorrow.
Amen. Dick, love it, and probably we'll call you in front of the Belmont, which is not a Belmont. It's at Saratoga. It's not a mile and a half. It's a mile and a quarter, but we'll figure it out. BetOnline.ag. Thank you very much, Dick. Have a good day.
You got it. Thanks, Paul.
Yep, see you about Dick Jerardi touting the Preakness, where he doesn't have a lot of conviction, and he is using numbers 9, Iron Honor, and 7, The Hell We Did. The horse's name is The Hell We Did. But Joe R. Peacock Jr., who bred this horse, probably named it The Hell We Did. So we'll be curious to see what that sounds like on the microphone. The Hell We Did. That's number 7, 15-1 on the morning line. I am...
You're on Chip Honcho, you said?
In lukewarm fashion. I'll probably change it 9 times like I did before the Derby.
So there's money to be made in this race, as you were talking about with Gorgie yesterday, but it feels like I'm getting a trend, like a lack of conviction in terms of this particular group. Is this just a muddy one? It's you meant, what is it? Incredibolt, I think. I don't have the names in front of me, but Incredibolt was in the Derby.
Yes.
Ocelli Ocelli, we know about that in terms of, and just coming in so much higher up the odds board than it was into the Derby. But it sounds like this is just a muddy group, a muddy class of horses into Preakness.
Yeah, we have 14 of them, unless there have been scratches that I don't know about. So you got a lot of them. You're going a bastard distance for 3-year-olds at 1 mile and 3/16. So you got the Kentucky Derby at 1 mile and a quarter. The majority of the horses in the Kentucky Derby never will run a 1 mile and 1/4 race the rest of their careers.
Okay.
Except for that day. 1 mile and 3/16 is a quirky distance.
Well, it's quirky where that horse, Golden Tempo, does not win the Derby if it's a mile and 3/16.
Perfectly stated.
So it kind of changes your vibe in terms of how you're running that thing.
So the reason most of us, KG a little bit, Dick a lot, me a lot, is kind of muddy, kind of murky as you put it, is like, when you're really going to try to pick a winner and put X amount of dollars on it to win, or find an exacta, top 2 finishers in a race, trifecta, top 3, superfecta, top 4. The best way to do it is right up to the race. So therefore, I can tell you I like Chip Honcho a little bit.
Yeah.
But, the race is at 6 p.m. tomorrow. So between 5 and 5:45, I need to see where those odds are.
Yeah.
Because if Chip Honcho, like I got off that super happy, real happy, whatever the thing was I picked in the Derby, I picked it at 15-1 on the morning line. That's why I thought it would be around that. I mean, that sucker was 5-1. And I'm like, I ain't betting a 60-year-old jockey coming out of a Santa Anita Derby where nobody does anything out of that race anymore at 5-1.
Right.
So you make decisions like that. That's what got me to Golden Tempo, is I thought he'd be 15-1. And I saw horses from New Orleans over Oaks Day and Derby Day just winning or finishing second left and right.
So
I'm like, this fairground circuit is live this year. So that elevated Golden Tempo. The Ortiz brothers were winning every single race.
Everything.
I'm not using Renegade because he's on the inside, even though he was the best horse with Irad. And so that kind of got me to Golden Tempo. But when I looked at it, the odds were 28-1. I'm like, with all these fairground horses doing what they're doing over 2 days and winning millions of dollars, it's clear that circuit has some good horses and is hot right now. And the rider's hot too. So I think he went off at 23, but I'm like, wow.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, these are bastard odds. They're just not where they should be.
So unless you have a massive so happy opinion and you said, what was it, 15-1 and it rose to 5-1 on Derby Day.
Yep.
You're not touching it because you want the value of the lower odds.
Yeah. I can get, like Canterbury Park opens for live racing a week from tomorrow at 5:00. I can get a 5-1 shot that I probably like as much as that horse in a 10-horse field at Canterbury Park on a Saturday. You know what I'm saying? It's
that's a good point.
Yeah, with the Derby, it's swing and swing hard.
Yeah.
Because the opportunity to win hundreds of thousands of dollars for betting like $100, $200, or $300, those opportunities don't happen often in one race.
So how do you figure out and parse through, and I guess it is a swing game, where there's a reason sometimes there's a reason the horse goes from 15-1 to 5-1. That thing makes sense. That thing handles business. So happy did not in the Derby, but sometimes it does. You got to parse through this thing went from 15 to 5. My money is shrinking in a heartbeat. I'm out versus, no, this is the right opinion. And the late money that comes in at 5:45 before a 6 p.m. post, there's a reason somebody just brought a duffel bag to the counter.
Yeah.
And I got to follow that vibe.
Yeah, I picked it for my top 3 for the seminar we did. I picked So Happy first, Renegade second, Golden Tempo third.
Okay.
So now the closer you get to the race, that's when you start balancing all of the information you and everybody else has up to the race.
Yeah.
Like I said, this New Orleans Circuit Fairgrounds, they're dominating Oaks and Derby Day and the undercard. Okay, cool. I mean, it doesn't mean that that's exactly how it's going to work in the Derby, but it's clear there are a lot of good horses there that were dead set to make a lot of money on these 2 days. Then you got the rider who won the Oaks. Then you got the rider Jose Ortiz who was winning a lot of races the previous 2 days. Then you look at the odds and you're like, wow, they're too high.
Yeah.
And super happy or real happy, whatever it is too low. So that's just, so how does it happen? I don't know. Because to move odds from 15 is a mythical number. It's just a starting point morning line.
Yep.
I'm not going to get too far in the weeds in horse racing here, but there are some antiquated things with past performances that, and approaches to each race that, quite honestly, I don't dig at all. I think the morning line's stupid. I don't think people need to see somebody else's opinion on what they think the horse's odds are going to be. You just, let's let's line them up and let the people bet to win, which establishes the odds.
Yeah.
See where they fall.
Right.
So therefore, people get all wrapped up on the, like I said, I thought the Mike Smith horse from Southern California would be close to 15 to 21. It was 5-1. I'm out. So now what am I going to do with Renegade? I'm out. He's on the inside. I just can't do it. Next one, Golden Tempo, odds high, boom. But very good questions. I know horse racing handicapping fascinates you. And once you learn more about it, I think you really would enjoy it. 10:05, Alec Lewis next.
This is 9 to noon on The Fan.